Once again, the WWE leaves the country, allowing NXT to go nuts. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling vlogger who always tells it like it is. Once more, the WWE jets to Jeddah. Not the moon in Rogue One, but the city that's making Riyadh look like a ghost town, to fill the WWE's coffers with a sultan's ransom. But hey, nearly half the matches have women involved, so that's progress, right? And while Triple H is away, Shawn Michaels will play with only the fourth NXT PLE in the last 3 years that will take place outside of the Performance Center. I hope they keep that up. But I also hope they stop having their PLEs the night after the WWE have one. Sheesh. Oh well. 13 decent matches, 9 of them for titles, 10 if you count the Heritage Cup, including crowning the first World Heavyweight Champion in the WWE in over 9 years. Sounds like a nice way to spend a Memorial Day weekend before barbecues are lit. So let's get to it! Start with the main course of Baba Ganoush. Here are my predictions for Night of Champions 2023. Start with Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. The man has come around to Saudi Arabia again, but this time she's brought the one who could be called the original man, as in one of the women who proved that female wrestlers could be both sexy and athletic. So in a way she's right that we should be thanking her. But Trish, your time is coming past, I'm sorry to say. Lynch has won multiple titles on both brands, won a Royal Rumble, and most importantly, is the wife of a future champion. Ooh, spoilers. Winner is Becky Lynch. Don't care if it's a main event, no title puts it back here. Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar Part 2. Gee, Cody has a heavily cheered match at WrestleMania, only to fight 2 PLEs later in a brutal match against a brutal man while nursing a brutal injury. Deja vu all over again. As there doesn't seem to be any stipulations, I'll have to assume a regulation match, meaning it won't be as fight-like as stated. I'm sure Brock will take Cody to Suplex City and hit at least one F5 on him, but Cody will take Brock down a roads less traveled, and that will make all the difference. Robert Frost. Winner is Cody Rhodes. SmackDown Women's Championship between Raw superstars. Rhea Ripley defends against Natalya. Natty. I get it. You're the last survivor of the Stu Hart dungeon still in the WWE. You have a rep to think of, but you had your time long ago. The Queen of Hearts is nothing more than a figurehead now. And it's time for the Hart Dynasty to slowly fade away. You're a pusher now. A jobber to the stars. And Ripley is the rising star on Raw, no matter which color belt she has. Winner and still champ, Rhea Ripley. Raw Women's Championship with SmackDown superstars. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Belair is definitely the tough-est, one of the strong-est, and one of the quick-est out there. She also is the longest women's champion of this decade. But Asuka has now become the meanest woman on SmackDown's roster. She is the sneaky-est when she mystifies people. And she is definitely the neediest of a title reign. And since she can't get it at WrestleMania, she'll have to get it here. Winner and new champ, Asuka. Intercontinental title, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. How Ali survived, let alone won that Battle Royal, is anyone's guess. But I'm certain Gunther is the heavy favorite in this match, especially with the rest of Imperium at his side. But here's the thing. Ali is Arab by blood. He is the only one of Middle Eastern descent on the card as far as I can tell. Well, maybe Sami Zayn, but I'm not sure. And I promise you that those tens of thousands of people in the stands will be cheering loudly for him. And maybe that's all he needs. Not the retribution, not the truth will be known crap from 2020, just a chance to shine in front of what is essentially a home crowd. This is my boldest prediction of the weekend, and I will stand by it. Winner and new champion is Mustafa Ali. Get Gunther a primary title match. Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend against Solo Sikoa and WWE Universal Champ Roman Reigns. Would have guessed that it would be Jimmy to get Stockholm. It would be Jay to get Stockholm Syndrome first. Could have sworn it would be Jimmy. I mean, after all, Jay had to put up with Roman's crap longer than Jimmy. In any case, with the Usos grounded, the younger bro and the tribal chief will have to go it alone. And yes, they have sheer brutality on their side, but Owens and Zayn have seen that same brutality in the Usos and beat them twice. Besides, you honestly think Roman will show up at his 1,000-day celebration with 6 belts? Hells no! The Canadian frenemies can protect each other from the Samoan spikes and the spears. The head of the table will be kicked through it today. Winners and still champs, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Finally, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth frickin' Rollins versus phenomenal AJ Styles. Now, as I said before, if AJ wins, they had better put him on Raw, because that is where Triple H said the new belt belongs. You do not want to give Reigns more gold to pick up on SmackDown. In any case, what a road these two have traveled to get here. Rollins was the architect of the Shield and the cause of its destruction, going from Monday Night Messiah to a guy whose song will probably be serenaded to him for a few minutes today. Styles has competed around the world, won multiple titles in the WWE, and is making a comeback from an injury along with the OC. It will be a hell of a match no matter what happens. But again, it would be best if a Raw superstar brought the gold home to the red brand where it belongs. If Styles wins, it'll be hell to get him and the rest of the OC traded. Winner and new champion, Seth frickin' Rollins. Now, the dessert of Boston cream pie. Here are my picks for NXT Battleground. Last man standing match. Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak. Was it so long ago when Dijak and Keith Lee wanted to fight forever? Then after the Retribution collapsed, he had time in limbo before being reassigned a 21st century big boss man gimmick. Google it. Does he still have what it takes to fight the Mad Russian forever? Or at least until one or the other is down for a 10 count? Yeah, it just might, yeah. But much like most last man standing matches lately, I think it'll take Dijak piling a bunch of stuff on Dragunov to keep him down. Winner is Dijak. British rounds rules for the Heritage Cup. Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee. There's only been one such match on NXT so far. So, refresher course. 6 3-minute rounds with 20-minute intervals. 2 out of 3 falls. A fall ends a round, 2 ends a match. KO and DQ ends the match prematurely. Now, Dar can go around crowing that he's the longest reigning Heritage Cup champ, but that's like Gunther being the longest UK champ because most of his reign was during the pandemic lockdown. Now he actually has to nut up or shut up against the rookie. But giving Dragon Lee a title, even a tertiary one this soon, is rushing it a bit. Let him work up to it. Good match, but winner and still champ, Dar. NXT Tag Titles, Gallus vs. Creed Brothers. These two, as you see in my rankings, are the only 2 highly successful teams in NXT lately. Not that they don't deserve the distinction of battling for the tag title, even if others fought more often. The Creeds are more or less what remains of the Diamond Mine since Roderick Strong took a hike. They have proven themselves an exceptional team, but Gallus is no slouch either. Ever since coming to NXT after NXT UK's demise, the Scots have been out to prove why they were the dominant team across the pond. It's a tough call, but I for one can't wait for fresh blood to line up for the title shots. For now, Gallus has the meanness factor, so winners and still champs, Gallus. North American Triple Threat type. Wesley versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy. I keep saying that Wesley is pushing himself too far. I get he wants to be a fighting champ, but he's going to wear himself out before he's 35. And taking on two rough and tumble superstars at once is just insane. Well, don't get me wrong. Joe Gacy has zero chance of winning unless the rest of the schism gets involved. But the two friends are going to have a hard time staying friends after this match. Tyler Bate has been waiting for a shot at a title for a long time, I'm sure. Ever since losing the UK title to Braun Breaker, I wanted him to get back into title contention. Now that he is, I would like for him to win. And I think he will. Winner and new champ, Tyler Bate. NXT Women's Championship, Lyra Valkyrie versus Tiffany Stratton. Stratton has been milking this movie star-like gimmick for a long time, but she's been denied the title for just as long. Lyra Valkyrie is an up-and-comer who has serious potential. And if not for Indy Hartwell surrendering the title after being drafted, neither of these would have another opportunity for a good while. And yet, here they are. But again, Valkyria hasn't been in NXT for too long, and much like Dragon Lee, giving her a title this soon would not be a good idea. Stratton better have Daniel Bryan's version of Ride of the Valkyries blasting as she comes in. She loves the smell of glamour in the evening. Smells like victory. Winner and new champ, Tiffany Stratton. Finally, NXT Championship rematch. Carmelo Hayes defends against Braun Breaker. What bugs me is that after Breaker lost, he said he wasn't going to bother with the NXT title again. Maybe the long reign he had made him realize that he's not much but a mass of muscles without gold around his waist. I knew making him champ so soon after his debut was a bad idea. Mello, on the other hand, is a force with or without a title. After winning the Breakthrough Tourney and the North American title, he lost it in order to go after a bigger prize, but he also knew that he could be money even without a belt. Oh, he wanted to be the main champ, no doubt, but he had confidence to know he'd get it sooner or later. It was just good for him that he did win it. Breaker can put Hayes and Trick Williams through all the stucco walls he wants, but he's all instinct and anger now, and that's not going to cut it in the Mello era. Winner and still champion, Carmelo Hayes. Those are my picks. Have a good 3-day weekend, folks, if you indeed have it. I'm First One with a Wrestling Blog who always tells it like it is. Pray for peace, and I'll see ya